So we've touched grass. Now it's time to get back to work. So by Chester Quest, we're going to see how fast you can get paid in 9 Final Fantasy games. In Final Fantasy 1, we start with a bunch of guys so poor they can't even afford MP. Anyways, the king hires them to rescue the princess, so we head to the Chaos Shrine, smack Jack, and return with the princess, who rewards us with a loot. Unable to sell it, we move on to the next town for actual paying customers. Now I wonder if these guys are able to feed their families. On to Pravoka, where Bikke hires us to discreetly lay off his staff, and in doing so, rewards us with a ship. Okay, pretty close. We sail to the west to meet the dwarves, well, at least their treasure chests, and crack them for some gil. In Final Fantasy IV The After Years, we join Theodore on his first day of work, while Biggs goes full-on Full Metal Jacket. Landing in the town of Mithril, Theodore immediately begins looting the town dry, finds a ruby ring, and returns it to the owner for a nice payday. Also, don't ask how that pig is wearing that ring. In Final Fantasy VII, we find Cloud, back when he had a gun show that made Popeye blush. Barrett shows his employee a positive work environment and proceeds to talk about the company vision, while I'm thinking about where I can get some of whatever Jesse's on. Cloud shows his expertise in demolitions, and that finally explains to me why he brought that sword. He signed up for demolitions to punch out a wall, and so brought a maul heavy enough to do the job. Job not what you expected aside, we fight the boss that I remember being way cooler last time I fought it. We defeat the boss, make our escape, while dropping a nuclear yield to Reactor 1. Telling the riffraff to go away, we make our way to a train that takes us down to Sector 7 slums. Arriving in 7th Heaven, we can connect with our old friend without paying a monthly subscription, and Barrett finally hands us our pay. We start out Final Fantasy VIII with 2 guys actually trying to get paid the old-fashioned workers' comp method. Realizing they did this to themselves, Quistis makes Squall get back to work while under heavy supervision. The guards are quick to realize Quistis' plan for Squall to get a low-level GF, and suddenly the mood is heated up as we acquire a freak. While playing this, I barely used draw and found my new way to play that upped the enjoyment of 8 for me by just not using draw. Heading to Dalet, for the final mission of the starting mission, we smack some nameless soldiers, pet a dog, and take a brisk mountain hike and get a selfie of Selfie. Turns out all the soldiers just wanted to call home to mom, and were looking to hook up the radio tower because they were only at 2 bars. Us being a bunch of orphans took offense to that and decided to stop those shenanigans at once. Turns out they had one more trick up their sleeve with a pet spider bot who didn't at all create a tense and closed fight. We say screw this, we're out, and head back to Quistis, who chooses only this moment to deal with something that tries to get close to Squall. Head back to Garden and officially become a member of Seed, get stuck with that person that's had too much, and deal with Quistis being terrible at seduction. Wake up the next day and start our next mission, and then get our first paycheck. In Final Fantasy X-2, I only wish I could have as much energy at work as these backup dancers. Turns out we have a little mix-up in the workplace over whose work uniform belongs to who. That's swiftly resolved by firing guns because of Spirica! Taking the chances to move up in the company, we head to Mount Gagazet and have a race with our fellow co-workers to the top because the boss promised a 50% off a Five Guys coupon to the winner. Reaching the top first, we run into the boss, who, if it weren't for the boss music, I would have thought it was just a trash mob. We claim the sphere's reward, but not paid yet. Taking matters into our own hands, we head to Mi'ihen High Road and crack this chest for a well-deserved reward. In Final Fantasy 13-2, Noel is looking for work, but no one will hire him. Probably doesn't help that he's the last man on Earth in his time, but if you can't find work, it's probably because you're not trying hard enough. So Noel crosses dimensions to get hired by Lightning. Anyways, Caius is creating a chaotic work environment with the heart of chaos, so Lightning gets Noel to headhunt for Mog for some help in dealing with the situation. Sarah experiences what every morning is for me. I'm fast asleep, and then suddenly I'm in my work clothes while wondering if it's a nightmare. Outside we run into Noel, who after some brief exterminator work introduces us to the rest of our co-workers. I've always wondered how Mog works as a bow. Anyways, we head to the Meteor, take down Gagamog, and claim our rightful treasure. In Final Fantasy Type 0, we join Ace Attorney and his friends during their college years, back when Ace used to yeet cards at his opposition when he objected. Anyways, I never remember what this game is about, I just love yeeting cards at the opposing army like a motherfucking gambit. Yeet, 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 yeet. yeet, yeet, yeet. Finally making it to the boss where literally any dodging makes me a living god. With that, we complete the mission and get paid. Realizing that in Final Fantasy XIV, I wanted to be quicker on the character creation. And it still took half my recording time! Wow, this thing really suckers you in. Anyways, noticing a trend with Brent and new characters under 18 minutes old, no matter where they are, landing in Ul'dah, we head to Quicksand for our starting quest, which is tutorial junk, and we get paid for it. MMOs are easy! In Final Fantasy XV, Dad tells us to get a haircut and get a real job. And like any teen, we meet them halfway. We apply at the local gas station, and it turns out the only reason we get work is because they knew my dad. Cindy gives us a cash advance on the job, and oh. So here's every game from bestest to slowest. Thanks for watching, and feel free to check out this video, it's probably just as dumb. And if you're looking for updates behind the scenes or a community to join, feel free to hit up the Discord down in the description. I hope you enjoyed, take care, bye-bye.